Paul Brown said to me, son, act like you've been there before. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I just barely got on the field. I hadn't been there before. So
I'm glad to be part of that trend. You know, sun's out, guns out.
How about Isaac Curtis on one side, Charlie Joyner on the other side? A lot of quarterbacks were very envious that I had those two weapons to throw to. But
now, wait a minute. Is it fair that Pat McInally is still the sexiest guy on our team? Is that?
You got me there. You got me good.
Donald, how you gonna be in that video not represent with a chain? Your tango, man. I got mine on. I'm ready to go.
Oh, that's great. That's priceless.
There are two guys that I think it's a travesty that are not in that Hall of Fame.
Ken Riley and Ken Anderson. Yeah, sure.
Let's put the backdrop on, Jamie. See if Marissa's okay with it.
Yeah, I got her backdrop. Starting the Canadian fan club up here for you.
That is so funny.
My last touchdown, and that's what Joe Burrow's going to end up like if they don't start protecting his ass. It's going to be the next David Klingler from David Klingler.
There's no Spanish-speaking people here, very few. So we, fast forward, we go to the Super Bowl in Miami, and the word was the Bengals have two big Mexican offensive linemen. They don't know how to speak Spanish. So I got down there and started doing these interviews in Spanish, and they're like, "Wait, we heard you don't speak Spanish."
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? But I got on the plane one day in an all red Suge Knight suit. And boy, Joe Walters and the linemen, they destroyed me. I thought for sure I was so clean. I had some gaiters on, all red suit on. I was Suge Knight. They roasted me.
The head coach was the really the pain in the butt. The Jerry Glenn, he would thought he was. If you didn't know who he was, he walked out there like he owned his stadium. And I always say, if I could get a chance to hit him on the sideline, I would.
I'm tackling your ass, Pete. I'm shoestring low on you.
But I got to tell you, you would have been stepped on, son. You would have had cleats everywhere.
Well, I'm proud to be a Bengal. Yes, I'm proud to be a Bengal again. I got nothing from you guys.
Welcome everybody to the 6-4 number 6 seed in AFC playoff race right now. Talking football with Bengal Jim and Friends edition. What's going on, guys? James, where the hell you at, brother?
In somewhere warm, not in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's definitely not in Cincinnati. It looks there's sharks behind you, by the way, James. Don't fall in.
Yeah, there are sharks behind me. So I missed the fun in Vegas, but I'll be back, leaving the warm weather. Be back Sunday for the game in Pittsburgh to go 7-4.
Yeah, hell yeah. Tom, any thoughts about the Raiders game, brother? It was a hell of a weekend, bud.
It was a tough, gutted out win that the guys put the pedal to the metal at the end. The defense, I thought, did everything we could want it to. Pressure on the quarterback, good coverage, tackling. Oh my God, tackling! It just feels like forever. But the tackling was outstanding. They obviously worked on that during the bye. Our quarterback was there when we needed him. He had a very efficient winning day for a winning quarterback, and Joe Mixon a Pro Bowl type day. So big win gets us right back in the mix of things, and we got to keep the momentum going.
Yep. Well, guys, we have a ton of special guests tonight. We've got Nicole Zembrodt, the contributor for Sports Illustrated All Bengals. James Rapine is her boss, and we're going to talk to her about her boss, James. We're going to ask a lot of difficult questions about James tonight. And we'll kind of recap the Raiders game and preview the City near West Virginia game. We have Sam Connaughton. We've got a new guy joining the team here today, guys. So we've got a new schedule thing we're going to call it Cincinnati Bengals Street Talk with Sam. We'll spend a few minutes with Sam today. We're going to have a lot of fun with Sam, and you're going to love his energy. He's a hell of a guy. He's not a very good basketball player. He's a big dude, maybe 6'8", but I can post him up. I can take him to the rim all day, any day. I know he can hear me right now. And there was a video that we posted from the game. Warren, who sat with us at the game, we converted him, man. We thought he was a Raiders fan. We'll talk about him here in a minute. We'll bring him on here, but we had quite a few beers with him, and we got some great story. So we're going to call him Warren, the dentist from Ontario, Jamie. So how close is Ontario to you?
I'm in Ontario, brother.
See, I don't know this stuff. So we're going to have you in.
2 years in, Jamie, and Jamie doesn't know the province you live in. What a dear friend.
I'm just
what
here
a
to
dear
push
friend he is.
Guys, don't worry about me. I'm just up in my igloo.
Man, oh man.
Up in your igloo. Hey guys, so we've got Nicole coming on probably about 8:25, something like that. So guys, let's get right into it. So what I want to be able to do, there's so many great stories, so many great pictures and videos about this weekend. I know you guys love us sharing our road trips. Guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start it off. We're going to kick it off. Let's go ahead and bring Warren on. If you're okay, Jamie, to bring him on. I don't know if you can see him. Warren, what's going on, big dog? How you doing, buddy?
Bengal Jim, good to see you, my man.
All right, man. Hey, so I don't even know where to start with this. Jamie, can you pull up the picture that we just showed that we did prior to coming on the show?
Sure.
So as he's doing that, guys, just to let everybody know that's viewing right now on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I am running on fumes right now. I'm 36 hours, no sleep. I was supposed to be home yesterday. Got an issue with a flight. Got home at 7:30 this morning. Came home, went to work. I just got back a few hours ago. So if I fall asleep, you understand what's going on. So this picture right here is Warren, and your wife's name is Megan, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. The best couple in the world. So let's go ahead and talk about Warren. If you could, you can go get that picture off. So Warren, tell us about what happened. You're going to the Raiders game. You thought you were going to be sitting in this massive black hole of black and silver, right? So give us the scoop. What went down?
Yeah. So my buddy Bobby, the other guy in the picture there, he owns the front 4 tickets there, and he invited my wife and I. Said, "You guys want to go to the game?" And I'm a Lions fan, but really I am just an overall football fan. And so the idea of going to the Las Vegas Raiders game, sitting in front row, is something you can't really turn down. And so prior to the game, I called a buddy of mine who's a Raiders fan, and I said, Raiders game, can I borrow a Raiders shirt? Like, I'm going to be surrounded by Raiders fans. We're going to be like diehard fans for the day. And threw my Raiders shirt on, get down to the front row, and it's just a sea of orange all around us. And so immediately I'm like, oh man, I think we picked the wrong team here. And kind of messing around and talking with some different people. And Jim, we kind of met you, and you kept saying, you got to turn that jersey around, my man. And so I remember after early in the first quarter, the Raiders had a big play, and I stood up and cheered, and no one around me cheered. And I just said, okay, we got to go with the people who are into this game. And so the jersey came off, flipped it upside down. You passed me one of these beautiful Bengal stickers to put right there. And, it was Houday the rest of the game.
All right. So let me take the story from there. So there might have been, we were sitting in the first row of the club right behind the Bengals bench, maybe about the 40-yard line. Well, they delivered beers to you. How cool was that? I've never seen so many beers actually at a game. So as we got to know Warren and his wife and his buddies, the whole Bengals section right there adopted these guys. Warren is actually from Ontario, Canada. You're a dentist, and you're actually a Lions fan, correct?
Yeah. I live in Windsor, so it's just we're season ticket holders for the Lions. We live just, 5 minutes from the border, and so, that's why we've always been Lions fans.
So do you know Jamie? He's in Canada too.
Yeah, I don't know Jamie in Canada.
You're the first person from Ontario that Jimmy's ever met, so that's cool.
All right, so let's go through. I got a couple videos, and he's a great sport. His wife was somewhat embarrassed sitting next to him, but just a great couple. But we have some videos. So as it got later in the game, Bengals are taking the lead. He's celebrating like a diehard Bengals fan, just fitting right in. And watch this video right here. Here's one of the videos of a beer shower Warren's taking. I got to do it one more time, Warren. Sorry.
Keep going.
It's up on your business Facebook page.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then we have another video. I got another of Caleb, our buddy Caleb, and Warren shotgunning a beer together. So we're just gonna be kicking off the segment here, drinking beer.
Go. Cheers, brother! Go Bengals, baby! Woo! Born and raised, baby! Let's get it! Let's get it! Let's get it!
So hold on. So Caleb couldn't poke a hole in a beer, so he put his finger and cut his finger, and you cut your lip, right?
I did not. No, I don't think I cut my lip. But I took the tab off the top of one of the empty beers, and I used that to make the hole.
God.
So yeah, but
Well,
that was good. Yeah, the beers coming down. They only let you buy 2 beers at a time, right? Because it's the NFL. So they had little pamphlets in your cup holder that said you could order beers, and so I just downloaded the app and I just clicked 2 beers checkout and just kept doing it until it just got overwhelming where they just wouldn't stop bringing them. So we had probably like 25 orders like that,
It's good stuff. Well, brother, it was fun sitting. That's why we love going to the out of town games. Whether meeting people like you and your wife and your friend, it's awesome to do it. I just wanted to bring you on. I thought it was a fun story, and the video, the beer shout, kind of went somewhat viral in the Bengal community, brother. So it was a lot of fun. But you took that Raiders shirt, turned it inside out, and put that Bengal sticker on, and you were one of us for the day, brother.
I appreciate you having me on, Jim.
Brother, means a lot, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Go Detroit Lions too, buddy.
Hey, thanks. Good luck in Pittsburgh this week. Hoo day, baby.
Hoo day, buddy. See you, man. So, guys.
Nobody wants to that close up.
So, fun story. So, I've got a few other things here. Jimmy, you want to go ahead and just pop up some of these pictures? So, we'll just kind of get into sharing some of the pictures and some of the things we ran into in Vegas. So, absolute wonderful week in Vegas. So we'll just kind of go through, starting off in the airport. That's my buddy Cam and his buddy. I forget his name. Good grief, my mind's not working properly. But anyway, our flight got delayed almost 3 hours, and we had multiple drinks there. Feeling good getting on the plane finally, and just keep going through them. That's us and our group in Vegas at the first night. I won't even stop you. There's Caleb's favorite ketchup right there, Heinz ketchup, made in his favorite city. Stopped at the pawn shop. We had to hit the pawn shop. And okay, this is a funny story here, guys. So we're down on Fremont, and this lady sees this huge group of Bengal fans down there, and she just thinks it's funny to pull up her Dog Pound Cleveland Brown shirt. There's a couple pictures next to this that you're going to like. I keep going here. All right, there she is again, getting in our picture. So she doesn't realize that we stick about 4 or 5 stickers on her back, and she walks away. That's the picture with the 1 sticker on there. So we seen her later that night, and she still had Bengal stickers on her back. So that bartender here, right at Fremont, it was bartender Chucky was his name. So Bengals Chucky was there. So Bengals Chucky and bartender Chucky were pouring beers for us that night as well. And these aren't going to be in the right order here, guys, but no, just kind of follow me here on that. So Evan McPherson comes over for the game. Caleb had a Evan McPherson jersey that he actually signed. And we're going to use that jersey for a charity auction here. Okay, so very cool thing. Evan was such a good dude, man, coming over doing that for us. You see Tony and Carrie and Brandon and Hannah there by the Bengals tunnel. It's Craig and myself right there. And we got a story. I think I've got this picture here. I'm going to put a picture up right here. I think we're done with those. I think we're good. So this picture right here. So literally before the game started, we had a couple Bengal banners that we flew over the side of the railing where we sat. Well, security comes up to us immediately and just flat out tells us, can't do it. He said, pointed across the stadium and said, Mark Davis is sitting right across there. We could see his bowl cut and everything. And he told us he doesn't want to look right across this and see the Bengal flag sitting right across from him. So we had to take it down. Later, we kept messing with the security. The head of security for the whole stadium came over and said, look, it's okay. Go ahead and put your banner up at this point. So we finally got the okay to put the banner up, Tom. I know that was a big contention on social media when we posted that. So yeah. Trying to think. So I'm missing some pictures here, guys. It's okay. I scrambled here last minute, but the flight home, I got home this morning, and on the way home, flying over beautiful Cincinnati, I take this picture from the plane. Beautiful Mount Airy Forest right there. We're going to do a weekly picture from of Cincinnati here. That's Mount Airy Forest, which is kind of in the Coleraine, close to Coleraine area. Tom, you've been there before, right?
I've visited there. I've never been in Mount Airy Forest, but I mean, I know where it is.
It looks as pretty like it should be in Canada or something, but All right, the tailgate. I got to get to the tailgate, guys. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I've been to, 28, 29 different cities to tailgate, and the combination of our tailgate and the Bengal trailer combining for this away game, guys, it was probably the biggest attended away tailgate I've ever been involved in. We had former players there. We had, I'm going to forget names. Jeez, Pete. We had Isaac Curtis was in attendance. Lewis Breeden was in attendance. I'm forgetting names. John Simmons, which was a defensive lineman, I think in early 80s, 81. I think he played the Super Bowl.
DB. He was a DB back in the early 80s.
Lincoln Ware was there. He was not a player, but I'm trying to think there's another player there. But there was the who's who of Bengals Nation was there. So I'm going to play a video here just to kind of get an idea of how many people were at this tailgate, guys. So look at this crowd. It was absolutely amazing.
Look at that. Give me a who they on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because we estimated, I don't know, we tried to do kind of an approximate head count. We had multiple people going around, somewhere between 300 and 400 people, maybe somewhere around. It was unbelievable. It was a great time. The Bengals trailer drove 29 hours, I think they said, and we had just a massive amount of people. Our tailgates being combined, a great road trip, an outstanding tailgate. It was absolutely amazing time, and to meet all people from all over the world coming to that game to watch the Bengals play was a really cool thing, guys. So I know not all of us could be there, but man, I hope that you got to keep up with this stuff on social media. It was a lot of fun. So I think we're done with all the Raider stuff, guys. So I want to introduce somebody here real quick. So we've got a new segment we're going to be doing moving forward. It's called Cincinnati Bengals Street Talk with our guy Sam. All right, let's go ahead. Hey, I'm warning you right now. If you're not ready for some high energy shit here, you better just log off right now. Sam, let's bring on Sam.
Wow, let's get woo! Wow, I'm absolutely fired up to be here. What a treat this is to be hanging out with Bengal Jim and friends on Tuesdays, baby. Let's get a little bit excited.
Woo! So, Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, you're going to be part of this stuff, move forward, but kind of introduce yourself to our viewers right now. And who the hell are you, Sam? Tell everybody.
Well, I stand about 6'8", 235 pounds. Born in Arlington, Virginia, raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Born in '97, so still have never seen that elusive playoff win, whether that be the Reds, the Bengals. It's been tough, but live, breathe, die the city. Unbelievable times to be had. Started out being a Bengals fan, probably second, third grade, right when the team got Carson Palmer. You know, that whole era happened, and then Andy, and now look at me, 24 years old, season ticket member, living the dream, having myself, having a great, great season. I'm fired up to be here. It feels so good to be back.
All right, so Sam, you're going to be down to tailgate this week, right?
Yeah, I'll be down there.
Okay,
I'm bringing my pops too.
We got a portable. I'm not playing your dad in basketball. He beats me. I know that.
Oh, he's got a feathery left hand jumper.
Yeah, so Sam, we're going to have a portable basketball hoop down there. I'm going to show everybody. I can post your ass up. I'm taking to the rim. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a very hard left hand elbow jab right into the rib cage for me with a little right hand hook off the glass from Bengals Jim.
It's on. So Sam, talk to us a little bit, buddy. Talk about your take on the Raiders game, but I know you're excited as hell. We're keeping up with you.
I mean, this is it. This is what we live for. This is what we wanted all season. A lot of people didn't think we'd get to this point. A lot of people were like, 7, 8 wins, like good season, like next step. No, we're in the gauntlet. Like this is the gauntlet. You go into Las Vegas, you beat the Raiders who are in the hunt, and you're like, oh my gosh, the schedule's in front of us. Like we control our own destiny. As the Cincinnati Bengals, year 2 of Joe Burrow, year 3 of Zach Taylor. it's kind of weird. It feels like the windows opened up. And that football game was gritty, tough, physical the entire game. Defense really showed out. Defense rebounded after a very poor showing, I thought, in the Jets and the Browns game. And then they came out, made big-time stops throughout the entire game. And then Joe Mixon, the workhorse, the big fella, just said, I'm taking the game over, put the ball in my hands. I want the ball, and I'm going to score. And it was great to see the team definitely play well, finish a game that they didn't do in New York a couple weeks ago. And you love to see that going into a Pittsburgh game that, is going to be very, very interesting.
All right. So, Sam, moving forward, how do we want to kind of roll this out, right? So we want people to ask questions to you, right, is what we want to do. They can do it through – they can get you on social media. They can send it to us, whatever we want to do. But we're going to have this segment. We're going to have fun with this damn thing move forward.
Absolutely. I know I say I'm fired up, but I am really, really fired up to be able to do this. A little bit into my history, I used to be on the Bengals Brawl podcast with Josh Cavalcante and West Coast Mark. And then that kind of disbanded. And there was this hole in my heart. I'm like, I love talking about the Bengals. Like, all I want to do is talk about the Bengals. I sit at work and I think about the Bengals. I drive my car, I think about the Bengals. And now I've got this opportunity again to talk football during the weekdays and kind of get that outlet, which is awesome. I'm really appreciative of what you guys are doing. So what it's going to be is you can send me Twitter DMs. You can talk to me on Twitter. Follow me at the Great Sambino. It's a very catchy name. Thought of it all myself. But you can send me questions there, and I'm going to answer them on the show. You can also, do it on Facebook, YouTube during the show. I'd love to answer questions, whether that be about the Bengals, whether that be you're coming in for the game, where do you want to eat, all of that stuff. Anything to do with Cincinnati, I'm all in for it. I would love for it to be Bengals, but hey, if I can answer some questions, make people's days, I'm all in for that.
Let's do it. Well, Sam, we'll continue to do this. We'll build on this and improve on it every damn week, brother. But we appreciate you coming on, kind of making a quick introduction for us.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. And Who Day, let's get a win against the Steelers. Big time game. It's going to be wonderful. Wonderful sitting on this show next week, being 7-4, going, oh my goodness, here we go. That 10-win number's coming closer.
You got it, Sam. We'll see you, big dog.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, man. See you, buddy. All right, so guys, that was just scratching the surface of his energy, man. I'm telling you, this guy has a ball of energy. He's a good dude. We're gonna have a lot of fun with him move forward. So, hey, we've got a very special guest. Everybody knows James Rapine, right? I know everybody watches and everybody knows James. We've had James on a number of times. Let's go ahead and bring on Nicole Zembrodt. Contributor for Sports Illustrated, all Bengals. Did I mess the name up? Did I get it right?
Yeah, it's okay. Zembrodt.
Broat. Damn it. I had it wrote down.
A little bro in there, How do I follow that energy up though? Yes. He brought the energy for tonight. So
I tell you, Nicole literally, he was very calm compared to what he normally is.
I know I follow him and he is always a light on my timeline.
He's a trip. He's a trip. Well, Nicole, it is awesome having you on. We've been wanting you to get you on for a long time, but thank you so much for making time with us tonight. But before we get going on this, Tom's going to kick it off with a question here and get going. We're going to kind of recap the Raiders game. We're going to talk about the City near West Virginia game coming up. But let's talk about your boss, James Rapine. Can you say anything good about him?
Of course, it's James.
No, we
James
love
is the hardest worker out there.
James is one of the best. We love James. He's just such a good dude, man. So we won't mess with James too much. We won't put you on the spot anymore about that. So, but let's get into it, guys. Any questions you guys have right now as you're watching the show, no matter what platform you're watching on, if you're able to type in questions, Nicole's going to take some of these questions later in the show here for us. But let's get it kicked off. Let's talk about those Raiders, Tom.
Well, yeah, it's great to talk to the person that's the talent behind James Rapine. But Nicole, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster the last month. I mean, we were number one, and the national media was actually giving us some love. Then we stub our toes big time in New York. I almost said New Jersey. I guess that's accurate. And against Cleveland. A big team win against the Raiders. What do you see going forward with the schedule we have that the Bengals need to keep improving on or keep doing to get us into playoffs, if not win the division?
I think the number one thing is they need a complete game. They need to start from the get-go and finish out. We've seen a lot of these go into halftime, make these halftime adjustments. And don't get me wrong, like the halftime adjustments have propelled to W's, but they need to have a complete game. We're not seeing the full potential of this offense yet. So that is my biggest thing moving forward, especially as the Bengals face some of these tougher teams moving forward.
The defense has been a bit up and down. There have been games where we haven't had all that much of a pass rush, although Trey Hendrickson, I believe, is 6 straight games with a sack, probably going to the Pro Bowl. Sam Hubbard has come out like gangbusters. Normally guys get a big contract. We see him backslide, not him. He's probably wishing he'd have held on and gotten a lot more money. But, the linebackers have been up. The linebackers have been down. The same with the defensive backfield. Do you think we can hold up against Baltimore? Kansas City seems to have righted the ship. I mean, you see a path from that side of the ball that can get us to 10 wins and or maybe overtake Baltimore?
There just needs to be more of a consistency. You see how they played more 3 safety in Sunday to cover Darren Waller, and that's how I believe they're going to have to go against the Chiefs, the Ravens, when they face the Browns again. Maybe even possibly with Pittsburgh's tight end this weekend too. Just they don't blitz a lot. You see that a lot of their pressure is brought on by the front four with Hubbard, Hendrickson, Reader, and then Ogunjobi or whomever is switching out there. So just need to be a little more consistent tackling. I know you guys hit on that at the beginning of the show with the missed tackles and a lot better cleaned up against Vegas this week with those tackles.
So the Vegas game, Nicole, I tell you what, like Tom said, it was really good to see the defense get back on track, which was awesome. But who stuck out to you on the offensive side of the ball during that game Sunday?
As much as, Joe Mixon really tailor-made an effort to pound the ball at halftime, and it showed. They had 38 rushes compared to Burrow's 29 attempts, and it paid off. I believe the team does. There's not as much pressure on Burrow when the balanced attack is there and when the run game is established.
Got it. Tom, what else you got? I know I got a bunch of other ones here too.
But yeah, I know you just mentioned Joe Burrow. Wasn't his best stat day, but I thought it was maybe one of his better games this year. And there are too many quarterbacks in the league that could have made that touchdown pass to Jamar Chase late in the game. How are you feeling? How are you seeing? What are you hearing about the line? Is the line continuing to improve? He seems to still be getting hit quite a bit. Fortunately, he had that brace on when he got rolled up on in the second half. Yeah, that was I had quite a bit of chest pains myself when that happened.
I think everybody's heart dropped in that moment.
But he limped a little bit and then was okay. Do you see the line continuing to improve from a pass protection standpoint? I'll ask you about the run game in a minute. But do you think we're still going there?
Yeah, obviously, the Bengals want to take that momentum that they had in the second half of the game into moving forward. And it's just ironic because I talked to Joe Walter the day after the Browns game, and obviously that was not a pretty game, but he really harped on cohesion. And you look at that right guard position, and that has been a revolving door this whole season. At the time when Adeniji came in, he was the 4th starting guard there. So now that Adeniji has 2 games started, that Reef and Williams are out on the tackles, Spain in the other side, and then Hopkins in the middle. Hopefully that chemistry starts to build. And again, Joe talked all about how cohesion along the line really helps. And you look at that 88 line. Of course, talent was a lot different in 88 along the line, but he really credited the cohesion along that line to their success too.
I think we have let's go ahead and go to a viewer question here. let's see. Here's one right here from Greg, a
What's
viewer.
up, Greg?
Yeah, Greg. Nicole, besides Burrow, who's the most important player in the Bengals for the rest of the season?
I think Joe Mixon. He really establishing that balanced attack, because when Mixon gets going, it takes a lot of pressure off of Burrow to throw. Of course, you want to like the line. But one particular player, I think Mixon, and then of course on the opposite side, on the defensive side of the ball, you want to have Hendrickson just continue to disrupt and cause that pressure in the backfield.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We had Jeff Hobson on last week, Nicole, and Jeff, we kind of put him on a spot, like, what's the magic number, right? So 10 was the number that he gave us. So we're down to we need 4 more wins before the year's out for us to get into the playoffs. What's your number? You think it's 10? 10 gets us in?
I think 10 gets them in. It's crazy though, because you look at all these upsets that have happened in the AFC in recent weeks, and it really could be maybe 9, but I personally believe 10.
So how big is this game this week? I mean, every game is the biggest game of the year now. It seems like for the rest of the year, right? They did what they needed to do against the Raiders this week. Went into a hostile environment, road trip in Vegas, the first time Cincinnati goes on the road in Vegas to play, and pretty much dominated that whole second half. And it really wasn't a game. And I'll credit mostly defense for making that happen. But what is it going to give us? Your couple, Nicole's keys to victory this week against the city near West Virginia. What's the key to us winning this week?
My keys to the game. So, of course, I think the biggest headline of it all is TJ Watt is expected to be back, and he was not playing week 3. So it's going to be, how does the offense pick up the pass rush from him, but not only him, what he causes in other players to take advantage of. That is by far my biggest matchup of the game, how to stop Watt. And then you saw in their game last night, Fitzpatrick and Hayden were both out as well, and the Chargers just really took advantage of that defense last night or in Sunday night. And so I believe Watt is a big one, but also can Burrow exploit that too, with Fitzpatrick and Hayden coming back. And then Najee Harris, I think that's another one. He didn't have a bunch of yards on the ground in week 3, but he caught 102 of Big Ben's 318 passing yards. So from a running back, that's huge. He was a weapon, and they just keep going to him too. So I think those two guys are big keys to whether the Bengals can make it out with a W or not.
So we got Lisa, a follower of the show here as well, but her predictions, she's been saying we're sticking with the 11 wins. And Lisa, gosh, that'd be awesome if that happens. That's a possibility. We control our own destiny, Nicole. That's kind of the critical piece here that Coach Taylor's really kind of hammering in her heads, guys. We control our own destiny here.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there is not one week that this team, we don't have to be afraid of anything. I think every week they play their best game, they've got a legitimate chance to win. And we've got a lot of games at home. I mean, Kansas City's got things right now. They're coming. We got Baltimore again. We get to go up and I think get a rematch with Cleveland that I think is going to we're going to see a very different Bengals team in that game. But 11 is very possible, and certainly 10. And if you get Baltimore, you can beat Baltimore and get a game there and have all the tiebreakers. Who knows? All of a sudden we're playing at home. Nicole, from a coaching standpoint, a complete 180 since last year, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Is that personnel? Is that scheme? Is that familiarity with, Dave Lapham always talks about year 3 in a system is the big year to click in. Do you see that, or is it a combination thereof?
I think it's a combination of you really have seen Zach and Lou get their guys in that they want. And in free agency, no one expected them to spend the money that they dedicated to the defensive side of the ball. So they really are paying the guys, and these guys knock on wood, they're staying healthy and they're producing. So I think they really are just year 3 is Lapseg getting into the system, and it's starting to click.
I have a question actually to jump in here. Thank you, Mike. Nicole, how surprised were you that they didn't flex the Bengals Chargers game and they picked the Chiefs and Broncos? Since Burrow versus Herbert, why is this just?
I don't understand.
Bengals
I don't understand why they wouldn't want that Burrow Herbert headline. And now you see Mahomes versus the Broncos. So I don't understand why the NFL went that route either.
There was some speculation. Evidently, CBS does have the right to protect certain games, and that they may have told the league they wanted to protect that game, and we're going to be the national game for CBS that day. That might be it, Jamie.
That makes total sense. I mean, if I'm CBS.
And the other thing, Jamie, is, and I apologize, Nicole, do you really want Bengal Jim down along the river for 12 consecutive hours prior to kickoff?
After seeing how Vegas went, no. I think
that's good for the city.
I think it's good with the 1 o'clock games.
I just can't wait to get back to like it was in the late 80s, guys. Tom, you were there with this whole thing, right? It seemed like we were on national TV, man. And just to showcase our city, to showcase our team and our fans, I cannot wait for it to we're getting there. We're getting so close to getting back to that. And we just keep moving forward in that direction. And that's really what it's going to take. Let's just keep winning. And the national media is going to have to pick it up, because one of the most viewed games in the NFL this year was the Thursday night football game here in Cincinnati against the Jacksonville Jaguars. People love Joe Burrow. People love the Cincinnati Bengals, not just in this city, but it's around the country and internationally, as we know.
Around the country. And I think I read somewhere that depending on what the Saints are playing down in Louisiana, they play the Bengals games because
Joe Burrow
and Jamar. Yep. So they want to see us. They want to see the Bengals.
All right, not a real serious question here, Nicole, but can you do the gritty? I'm kind of practicing. Lord. I'm practicing right now, so I'm going to pull that out the tailgate at some point. But I'm struggling with it.
Maybe if I get a little liquid courage in me, that can come on out.
Got it. Talk a little bit, Nicole, about, ever since day one, Zach Taylor walking in that building, his focus has been culture. It seems like this is the first year that he has his guys. This is his team. So talk about that a little bit and what he's done to get where he's at today.
So funny. So in my past, I worked in the front office, and it was the day that he flew in, and I will never forget this. Just shows who Zach is. I was walking, and him and his family were walking, doing their tour of the stadium, and he just came out of his way and shook his hand, put his hand out to me, shook my hand and said, "Hi, I'm Zach. Nice to meet you." And I was just like, oh, okay. Just that kind of thing shows. And he really has implemented just a culture, and he's gotten those guys in. These guys are buying in. You see that in post game. You see that in media sessions. You just see the camaraderie there. They're obviously still in the rebuild. They have ways to go, but they are ahead in the rebuild process as well.
It's cool. And it's really Lisa, again, we got some very knowledgeable viewers, Nicole. Lisa makes a great point here. Is it the fewest leagues in the fewest penalties in the league right now?
Yes. So I actually have this stat written down. Lance McAllister tweeted this following the game. So the Bengals have 40 penalties, a league low, 8 fewer than the next team. The NFL average is 65.1. In yards, they have 343 penalty yards, 86 fewer than the next team. The NFL average is 565. So credit Lance McAllister on that one, but the discipline too of this team really has come a long way.
And the camaraderie, these guys, and again, we've had so many of our what we call our Bengal OGs, players from the 70s and 80s, and the theme that we've seen from the teams, the Cincinnati teams from the past that have been really successful is as the tight knit team. They go out together, they have fun together, they spend time together outside of the being at PBS. That is something that's really, to me at least, has stuck out this year because these guys are doing a lot of things in the community together. They're going out to dinner together. They're spending time together. I think that's an important piece, Nicole.
Huge part. I mean, if anybody who's been on any type of team before, building that relationship outside of work, outside of the actual sport, really does carry back over into it. I love that the offensive line goes out to a steak dinner every week. Like, let me come with you one time to get me a steak. But it really does build team chemistry there.
Not to be a downer on that, Jenny,
Yes.
but let's not jinx it bragging about the penalties. The Steelers are coming into town.
Right.
They will be bringing their refs.
Yes.
I mean, that's just another obstacle, against the NFL's, the Zebras' favorite team and the NFL's pet franchise. So, I mean, they're punching guys in the stomach. They're, as we well know, blindside blocks that they got to rewrite the rule book on, diving into knees that they got to rewrite the rule book on, hitting guys out of bounds that they got to rewrite the rule book on, grabbing quarterback's face mask, trying to tear his head off. There's the historian in me going back to the early 80s, but, coaches running on the field, grabbing hair, like they're in the third grade. The Steelers are coming. They'll be bringing their refs, and we need to be ready for that.
And despite who they bring, what they do, the Bengals are going to overcome it this week. But Tom, I'm with you, brother. It's just it's amazing. So I'm going to talk about a few individual players, Nicole, that maybe aren't the most popular players, but I think they've really contributed a lot to the season. And one of them really had a hell of a game here this past week. Eli Apple has really caught a lot of hell from Bengal fans. But if you really look at what he's done, his whole body of work, he's really had a pretty decent year for us. And he had a hell of a game Sunday.
He did. It was a kind of quiet the haters a little bit. I was happy to see that he got an interception. The lovely field conditions tripped him up there a little bit, but it was a good game by Apple for sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So Evan McPherson, Nicole, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So where we were sitting, the kicking net was right in front of us, and this guy's got ice in his veins. I mean, Tom, he set didn't he tie a Cincinnati Bengal record held by Horst Muhlman from 1970? This week?
Broke it.
Broke it.
Yeah.
So Nicole, tell us how important is that? I mean, the Ravens have had their guy for years, right? He's changing the game, and we looks like we have that type of kicker.
Oh, absolutely. I have. I'm looking at my phone because Dan Hort tweeted this after it. Horst was the only kicker in Bengals history to kick more than 350 plus field goals in a season, 4 in 1970. Evan McPherson kicked 3 today, and it's 6 for 7 from 50 plus this season. Just think of what that can do. So the Bengals have their kicker. I actually talked to Jim Breach the week after McPherson was drafted, and Breach just raved about the guy. He's like, he's got the leg, and then he talked about how Shane Graham was his coach at Florida. Shane has raved about him too. But he said the one thing is we don't know about his mental aspect, like how the mental game and doing that. And of course, you'll have a little bit of shakiness there at the beginning of the season, but look at the way he's bounced back and then just clutch from the 50-plus yard field goals there. Really excited to see what he can do to finish out the season, especially in some of these potential poor weather games that could be coming. It was nice to have a dome in Vegas, but I don't think the Bengals play outside the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's interesting. The game Sunday, the first series, we get the fumble, right? And there was no panic. We saw the defense just grab. I'm sitting right there watching this. They're not even more than 10 yards from us. And literally there was like, you just hear, come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Everybody getting their helmets on, running on the field. If I had money, I'm not a big I was in Vegas. I'm not a big gambler. I knew they were going to stop them. I knew they weren't going to let them get in the end zone. These guys, they set the tone early with that defense because they could really put themselves in a big hole to start that game off.
Yeah. I mean, after that turnover at the start, the big stop there, like you said, they really could have. And then the Raiders gave up those penalties against themselves, self-inflicted themselves with those. But there was no faith lost, and it was interesting watching the game. The CBS commentators were kind of questioning, he's gonna go for 50 plus, and just drills them. And so it's nice knowing the Bengals have faith in their kicker, and that's something that they haven't had in a very long time.
Yeah. Tom, do you have anything else you wanted to add there? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, taking on exactly what Nicole. I mean, the Bengals have had some fine kickers in their history. Horst Ullman was a good kicker and one of the first soccer-style kickers. Paul Brown, in fact, took a lot of grief for signing him. And, Jim Breach, one of the 50 greatest players in the history. Pelfrey, Shane Graham did go to a Pro Bowl. Nugent, but this is really maybe the first time we've had a weapon.
Yes.
At kicker to go out. We missed an extra point the other day, but you go out at 52 when he was kicking at 52-53 the other day, and I was
he added 9 points.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Good point.
5th round steal.
Yeah, absolutely. As much grief as the Bengals caught for drafting him in the 5th round, money pick.
Right.
So I know we're right at our time, Nicole. We got just one more thing I want to ask you, and I really appreciate you being with us. It means a lot. Hopefully, we see you Sunday night at the Tailgate. If not, we'll see you at some point again down there. But I want to put you on the spot here. Give us some predictions for this week. So we'll do an overall prediction, but I want to let's talk about this defense. How many sacks are the Bengals going to get against Big Ben? Come on, give us a number.
I think they'll get 3. I think they will get 3. Just a lot of momentum between Hendrickson and Hubbard coming in from that second half. Would love it. Would love everybody to go save on a Mike's Car Wash too.
That's right. And it's crazy as well as the edge rushers have been playing. I'm gonna credit the middle of that defense for that.
Right.
Okunjobi and DJ Reader, those guys are, dude. They're giving offensive lines fits.
So underrated. Underrated.
Yeah, damn good. So let's go back. Let's give a prediction on Joe Burrow. Give us his stat line for post game 4:15 Sunday after the game. Joe Burrow stat line.
I will say Burrow has. Let's see. Let's go 20. That's.
Nicole, I always put you on the spot.
I know this one is put on the spot. I definitely think he throws 2 touchdowns. He'll find Chase again. I think he finds Uzama though too. So Chase and Uzama, and I think Mixon adds 1 on the ground. But final score, I give Bengals 27, Pittsburgh 23.
Oh.
I'll tell you guys. Sorry, Jimmy.
Go ahead.
Was asked about the Mount Rushmore of who covers the Bengals, and I said Jeff Hobson, Dan Horde, Dave Lapham, and James Rapine. I think we're finding out why we have James in such high stead, and James's history.
Yeah,
James is done. He comes down.
Yeah, James trying to take credit for all the stuff Nicole does. You know how it works. So. But Nicole, it means a lot. Thanks so much for spending time with us, and everybody that's watching right now. Jordan, there's a bunch of other questions in there, but we're out of time. But thank you so much, and we're going to replay these stat lines in your prediction because I agree with everything you said there. I think
before I log off, I just want to give a shout out to Sam Hubbard, Jamar Chase, and DJ Reader for their work in the community today. They went out and they gave meals, put meals together for families before Thanksgiving Thursday. So just wanted to highlight them, and we've got some good guys on our team in the community as well.
Nicole, I really appreciate you bringing that up. We talked a little bit about that a few weeks ago. the Brown family is very, very involved in the community, donating. They don't advertise it. They don't push it out to people. I know for a fact that we know for a fact that they're very, very involved in this community. We had a very in-depth discussion a few weeks ago about that. But even the stuff you saw today on social media, the stuff you just talked about, Nicole, the players giving their time in helping out. I love it, man. It's just so cool to see. And this team is special, and you know, we just got to keep building on it. Let's stay healthy. Let's get another dub this week. But it's a special group of players, Nicole. That's for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks, James. Get some sleep.
Yeah, I made it. I'm not sleeping right now.
I don't know how you're not sleep deprived.
See you, Nicole. We appreciate it.
Bye, you guys.
Thanks. She was awesome. She's great. Now, I wish we could have got her on soon. I know her schedule and our schedule didn't kind of work out, but it's good to finally get her on, and it's fun to mess with James. Anytime we get a chance to mess with James Rapine, we got to do it too. So
I like that message Jamie just put up that James may lose his job between she and Lindsay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. James is on his way out. Guys, I appreciate everybody tuning in right now. I'm telling you, I'm really struggling right now. Lack of sleep here, but fun time having Sam on and having our guy from Warren, his wife. It was fun talking to Warren and talking about the Raiders game too. So James is out of town, as everybody saw earlier in the show, who maybe didn't tune in at the time. James and his family are out of town right now. That's why he's not on. He'll be back with us next week. But let's go ahead and go through and close this out. And Tom, we'll kind of start with you, buddy, if it's okay.
No, big win, the biggest game of the year, which makes this week the biggest game of the year. Every week's the biggest game of the year. And like I said, sounds like the Steelers will be healthy, completely healthy on defense. They'll be coming in with Big Ben. Their line is a much better line than what we faced in week 3. They're giving him a little better protection. They're running the ball. They're a much better team than the team we saw in week 3. And as always, like I mentioned, they'll be bringing their refs. The refs are always, a big part of the Steelers game plan, and they're a darn effective one. So it's important that as fans, we try to counterbalance that. We've got to be as loud as we can Sunday and diffuse those Steeler efforts. But the other thing is, again, and like Nicole mentioned, congratulations to the Bengals and the players that she mentioned for giving their time, making sure so many families get a decent Thanksgiving. And I hope I'm not letting anything, genie out of the bottle. But tomorrow is the great turkey hoax for the rookies. So I don't know if the word will get to the rookies. Lord knows what part of the tri-state the veterans will send them to for their free turkey. I know it's been Batavia. I know it's been Amelia. I know it's been Harrison.
Lawrenceburg, I think 1 year.
Lawrenceburg, I think 1 year. It's some random Kroger somewhere at one point. So, good luck for the rookies. I hope they don't get lost because we'll need them Sunday against the Steelers. But and glad you're home and home safe, Jim.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Thank you. Actually, it's a funny thing. So I do want to kind of hit on this because if James was here, he probably wouldn't even bring this up. But just to let you know, thanks, Brandon, for bringing that up, buddy. I got my second dub in fantasy football. I'm going to close the year out very strong here in the fantasy football league, guys. So I'm feeling good about that. So Jamie, go ahead and give us your shot.
Yeah, well, first of all, I hope the Sharks didn't get game. Kind of just disappeared there halfway through the show, so hopefully he's okay. Yeah, I mean, everyone said last week that it was a must-win game, and it's good to see the Bengals win a must-win game. It feels like when we have a must-win game, we don't usually pull those out, so it's good to see them do that. And as Tom was saying, Steelers coming to town with the refs, and I know Zach says this all the time. You don't want to get in a situation where a bad call decides the game. So I hope the Bengals come out, take a commanding lead going into the second half of the game, even into the fourth quarter. So when those bad calls do come out, it doesn't change the outcome of the game, and we can just rant about how crazy the calls were next week and still celebrate the victory. And finally, I will also say I believe it's Thanksgiving to you guys down there. We've already had our Thanksgiving up here in Ontario. where I live. So happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. Hopefully you enjoy your turkey dinner, and I'm going to be taking Thursday off too, because American Thanksgiving means 3 football games.
That's right. That's right.
TV watch.
That's right. Guys, look, I just want to say thank you so much for everybody viewing. The Tailgate Sunday, just to let everybody know, it's going to be, hey, Friendsgiving with the Bengal family down there Sunday at the Tailgate. Just stay tuned this week in social media. We're working out some details. Dell Hall from 16 Lot, we're working together. He's trying to work out some food for us. We got some other stuff going on. Dell will have his 16 Lot brews down there for you as well. You'll have Craig, Beerfest Craig down there, James, myself, Tom, Big Sam will be down there with us. You'll see the whole crew down there this Sunday. And guys, I tell you, this game this week, and I feel like I say this every week, but I don't know why. I truly believe it. This game this week is big for both these teams. Yep. As desperate as we are wanting to get to 7-4, the Steelers are in desperation mode at this point, guys. This is a huge game for them, and we could just put our boots on their necks and end their season, in their hopes, going 2-0 against the Steelers this Sunday. Big freaking AFC North matchup, guys, this week. So really excited about this game. I want to say thank you to Nicole. Thanks, Sam. Thank you guys for being with us, and we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your Thanksgiving with your friends and family. And we will see everybody Sunday down at the Tailgate and at the game. Thanks, everybody. Hoo day.
Hoo day.